Mac recorder because I actually just finished recording and realized that at the middle it kind of just failed because I think the internet was disconnected. So actually I'm just going to go back and redo all of these again. Okay, so actually right here, let's see. So first I'm going to say what was wrong with the one we did during the stand-up. So basically what was going wrong is that first of all I was using use reducer on to do, and I was also using use reducer on to do list, and what that was causing is that we had different states because what use reducer does, and what it does, it grabs the initial state and sets that into that state, and that state is what's being sent to a reducer right here. If you see, we have state and action. So these two, it's the thing it's receiving. So the action is going to receive the action type and the action payload, and it's sending that via dispatch. And if you see, we have action types, and that's how we're switching between them. And in this one, the state, it's also the same thing. So basically we had two different states. So when we use state on to do, that state is going to be empty because it's going to mimic the state right here. So we can actually test that real quick. So right there we have to do list state, and then right here we can console log state and to do. Okay, and now let's test it real quick. So let's add a couple of them. Okay, so if we see right here on to do state, to do list state, we actually have the state we're displaying, and on to do state is empty because it's two different states. And I think I got a bit confused with Redux, and I thought I could use the use reduce hook in the whole app, like we did yesterday with the context API. Well, I was wrong with that, and that's why the delete wasn't working. And also he was just adding one, and actually Han did mention this I think a couple times, which if you're watching this, Han, I'm sorry, I should have listened to you. So I was missing the state, because for immutability you have to do it. And once I added this one, because I was only adding the state.todos with the spread operator. Sorry. And that's why we could get what we had before, but we added one, and that was it. It got stuck there. And once I added I spread the state, the whole state, that worked. And the delete to do wasn't working because this state was actually being received from the dispatch, because I was doing the dispatch inside the to do. So when I did this dispatch from here, the state was the reducer was receiving a state of 0, an empty state, and I wanted to receive a state with something in it. Great. So now we have what I had to do, and pretty much the rest is the same. It was pretty much only those two things that were like breaking the application. But now I'm just going to go through it real quick. Okay, so we have our reducers. I didn't change these two, or I changed this one. I added the three dots to it, and then I also added a toggle complete. So in the toggle complete, I'm actually going to refactor this using a ternary operator. And this one was actually right. So actually, so let me change this to do, and just do to-do.id, and it receives the ID. And in toggle complete, I'm just going to do a map over all the to-dos, and if the to-do ID, if it equals the action.payload, which is also the ID like in the delete to do, if it does match, we're going to return the object. So to do, so we're getting this object, and we want to modify the false, the completed. So completed equals, and right here I'm going to say that it equals whatever the to-do.completed is not equal to. So if it's false, and we click on it, it's going to be true, and vice versa. So right here we can say to-do.completed, and that's it. And if this is and if this is false, we're just going to return the to-do. All right, great. And now let's test it. So when I click on so I added a button, but let me delete. Okay, so now I'm passing the dispatch functions to props, because we need to use them in the component we initialize the state using the user reducer. So here I'm passing the toggle, and I need to pass the delete. So I pretty much only call it delete, and right here I can say delete equals, and I'm just going to copy and paste this one right here. So it's dispatching, and we need to dispatch the delete to do, and we're also sending the ID, so that's fine. So let's let that load and add some. Okay, we added those three, and now if we click Q, and I'm still console logging this one, but ignore the to-do state. So this one was the before, Q is false, and this one is the after, and Q completed is true. And if we click on Q again and go to the state, it's going to be false. Okay, so that's working. And if we click delete is actually not working, but we can check real quick why it isn't working. So on reducers, so we're doing delete to do, we're sending the to do ID, and let's check that real quick. So delete should console log this, so it's not console logging that, so I think I only forgot to save this right here. Let's see, props.delete. Oh, okay, I was missing, it was a typo. Good thing I saw it, because I'm really bad at solving them. Okay, so now If we click delete, that deletes it. And if we click on the letter, that changes true. So let's click on it again, and now it's false. So that works. Nope, let me set it to true. Alright, and now the only thing we have to give functionality to is the clear to-dos, and let's do that right now. So on clear to-dos, what do we want? So let's add a case. Let's call it clear to-dos, and right here we're going to return this an object, and we're going to spread the state. And right here on to-dos, we're going to do a filter, so a state.todos dot filter, and we're gonna filter out all the ones that are false or that are true. So right here we have to do, and the condition is going to be that we want all the ones that are false. So just by adding to do dot completed, that should be filtering them. And now we just have to add that to the button. So on click, and right here we can add that right there, and say dispatch type, and let me get type Alright, and that should clear. So let's save it, and let's check if it works. So let's add some of them. And really we won't be able to see because I haven't added like a class or anything to it. But for now, let's set the A and the S to true, and we can check that on our state. So okay, so those are true, and if I click clear to-dos, it should clear only those two. Great. So now we can delete and we can add, and we can also toggle between the true and false on the completed, and we can clear the completed ones. Okay, so we have ABC, an empty one. B is done, so we click on it. That sets it to true. C is done. Sets it to true. We can set it to false back again. We can delete A, and if we clear to-dos, that should delete B. And actually, oh, both of them are false. So let's make B true and clear to-dos. Yeah, so that's the app using the reducers. Hopefully I did explain it. I'm sorry I got all my head twisted. I got pretty confused. We combining Redux and using the use reducers because I thought it was global and it wasn't, but now it should be all good. If any of you have any questions, I'll try to go through them tomorrow, or just send them, and if I'm available, I'll answer them right now. Alright, well, I'll stop the recording right here, and I'll see you all tomorrow.